You know what I noticed? Impulse buys are not a privilege for those with spare money to spend. In most situations, we impulse shop when our wallets are not full at all. I know at least 2 women in my immediate surrounding who got into a huge debt because of a spontaneous emotional shopping, and now they are having a hard time paying off this debt. Most often, the following reasons for impulse shopping are highlighted: stress, unhappiness, boredom, desire to save on sales, and herd mentality. And I know all of these. I've been always checking out myself for those impulses, but I still made some impulse purchases that didn't have to be made. And instead of being upset with myself, I just sat down and thought and analyzed all those accidents. And I've noticed 3 unobvious reasons why I impulse shop, why we all can impulse shop. And today I'm going to share these reasons, and maybe those will resonate with you as well. I think it is so important to understand the underlying reasons of our actions, of our shopping habits, because otherwise we are just servants to the system and not thinking individuals. But most importantly, understanding our reasons can help us work through hidden traumas and certain aspects of our personality that have been ignored. Watch this video till the end because I will share what I do more to cope with my shopping impulses. I noticed that a good portion of my recent impulse buys was made when I felt a sudden desire to go to a mall and just wander around. I thought I just wanted to browse, to watch people, but in fact I wanted to recreate happy memories of window shopping together with my cousin. We rarely bought anything, but just had fun in fitting rooms and laughed a lot. Our home city in Siberia has very few malls, and during harsh winters, those were few places that we could go just to be outside our apartments and not to be freezing, and we didn't have to spend any money. I'm very close with my cousin, and it hurts to be physically apart. So when I subconsciously wanted to recreate our time spent together, I browsed, but at the same time I bought some things I didn't really need because I lacked the happy component of that experience. Sometimes when in a shop we can see an item that triggers good memories for us. It can be a sweater with a color palette from our childhood, a toy, a sweet, anything. And we want to recreate that happy time, to bring it back, and we shop. Sometimes having particular sweets or tea or food becomes an amazing time machine, but most often we regret our buys made out of nostalgia. I love working. I had a hard time doing nothing, and by working I mean studying, crafting, making videos, translating, writing. It's all work for me because this is how I make money for a living. And most often it's very hard for me to identify the right moment to stop, which leads to burnout and the consequent desire to justify my hard work. I need to spend the earned money and thus prove to myself that it wasn't in vain. Material justification is the easiest and fastest way to feel control. But indulging in this type of mentality, we often find ourselves overspending and living hand to mouth. And I don't want that anymore. When I had office jobs and was mostly miserable there, I tend to overspend, to spend more and more and more, and I had less savings than when I finally went freelancing and was barely making $300 a month. You probably know all those principles of manifesting your dream. They tell us, imagine that your goal has been reached. So what do you feel? What do you see? Where are you? And the more we manifest, the faster our dream life will happen. I noticed that subconsciously I want to recreate those periods of my life when I felt stable and confident in my future. And this is basically my ultimate dream right now. As a result, I impulse purchased a few things for our apartment that we don't need because I kind of turned a blind eye on the practical side of me. That side that knows that our ultimate home is yet to be found and that we most probably have to move again. So what do I do to avoid impulse purchases, and what obviously I should do more? I worry too much. I'm a warrior with an O. I worry whether I will afford this or that thing in the future when the price goes up. I worry if I have enough money. I worry if we have to move countries again and whether I will be able to take all my purchases with me. I'm constantly asking myself whether I will be well off or I should just live in the moment and purchase those unnecessary socks in the moment because I want them right now. So, all those things that we are so familiar with. And to stop worrying, I'm using all the arsenal of tools that are so well known to you, from cooking and meditation to working out and doing facials. I have finally made a wish list of items that I want to buy for myself this year, and the list turned out to be very, very short. There are only 2 items there. The first one is high top canvas sneakers that I want to wear all year round, and the second item, which is a maybe item, is thin linen dress. But I also have a list of garments that I want to make for myself, but I talk more about it on my second channel, which is about everything related to crafting and slow art. So if you're interested, you can check it out. You're always welcome. I try to talk to my cousin even more to relieve the feeling of nostalgia. I read more, I try to make and do more uneasy things because I love challenges for myself, although I'm not always able to prevent myself from failing. But who cares? Life is fun after all, and to experience that, we don't have to shop all the time. This is it for today. Thank you so much for watching and being here, my friends. Please feel free to share in the comments whether you are an occasional impulse buyer and what are your reasons. And thank you, my Patreon community, for making this channel possible. And for now, be safe and keep your heart open. And I hope to see you soon. Пока-пока.